All right, let's dive right in. There's a battle happening right now that's quietly reshaping our entire digital world. It's a fight between two AI heavyweights, OpenAI and Google, with their unbelievable new video tools, Sora 2 and Veo 3. But trust me, this is way more than just a cool tech demo. This is a sneak peek at a future that is coming at us way faster than we thought. So let me just ask you this. What if you couldn't tell the difference anymore? What if the videos you see every single day, the news, the viral clips, everything, could be dreamed up by an AI, looking completely 100% real? Well, that's not some far-off sci-fi idea. That line has already vanished. The tech has finally climbed out of that creepy, uncanny valley, and it's given us what a lot of people are calling the ChatGPT moment for video. And right at the center of it all, two of the biggest names in tech are going head-to-head to decide what happens next. Now, here's where the story gets really interesting. Because while OpenAI and Google are on a total collision course, they are both, believe it or not, driving the exact same kind of engine. The tech is basically identical, but what they want to do with it couldn't be more different. Okay, so that shared engine has a pretty nerdy name, a Latent Diffusion Transformer, or a DIT. Sounds complicated, I know, but just picture an AI artist who starts with a canvas of pure television static, just random noise, and then using only your text prompt as a guide, it starts to sculpt that noise piece by piece until a perfect crystal clear video just emerges from the chaos. It's kind of magical. And it really all boils down to these three steps. First, the AI looks at tons of real videos and squishes them down into their core concepts, their ideas. Second, it learns how to build a brand new idea from that static, based on what you ask for. And finally, it blows that idea back up into a full high-res video you can actually watch. So you go from reality to a concept, and then back to a whole new synthetic reality. So they've got the same engine under the hood. But this is where their paths totally split. It is a fundamental clash in strategy, a real classic battle playing out right in front of us. We're talking the walled garden versus the open utility. See, OpenAI isn't just trying to give us a tool. They're trying to build a destination. They want to create a Sora-powered social app, a walled garden where they control the entire experience from start to finish. Google, on the other hand, is taking the total opposite approach. They're building the plumbing, an open utility that any developer or company can just plug into and build whatever they want on top of. And their ultimate goals are just as different. OpenAI wants to create this powerful data flywheel. Every single video you make or remix or even just like inside their app becomes training data that makes their AI smarter and better. It's a loop that gets stronger and stronger. Google wants to enable everyone else. They don't want to compete. They want to sell the picks and shovels in this new synthetic media gold rush, becoming the essential tool everyone needs to succeed. And you can see exactly how these two philosophies play out in the features. Look at OpenAI's Sora 2. They're aiming for a standalone social app, targeting us, the consumers. The features are all social, like Cameos and remixing, with a freemium model designed for viral growth. Now look at Google's Veo 3. It's all about API access for developers and big companies. The features are professional grade, like cinematic control, with a clear pay-per-second business model. Every single choice perfectly reflects their strategy. Okay, so this leads us to the fallout. What happens when AI can create an infinite amount of content for basically free? Well, something fascinating happens. It creates a brand new market, something we're calling the authenticity economy. When fake is everywhere, real suddenly becomes incredibly valuable. And it really makes you wonder, right? In a world just flooded with AI art and AI music and AI video, are we still going to care about stuff made by actual human beings? Well, the data is coming in, and the answer seems to be a huge, resounding yes. Turns out, there's a very real human premium. When you ask people, they say they value human-made stuff way more. Why? Well, they point to things like authenticity, originality, and that all-important personal connection you feel with a human creator. It's not just about how pretty the picture is. It's about knowing there's a human story behind it. And this number really says it all. People are almost 3 times more likely to want to buy a photograph taken by a person, even if a cheaper AI-generated one looks just as good. We're willing to pay more, not just for the art, but for the simple fact that a human made it. So what does that mean for creators? Well, it means just knowing how to use the software is becoming less and less important. As this quote gets at, the most valuable skills are shifting. It's no longer about technical execution. It's about being an AI director, having the high-level vision, the taste, and the big ideas to guide these incredibly powerful tools. Of course, for any of this to work, we need trust. And a whole new infrastructure is being built to make that happen. You've got technical standards like C2PA, which are basically like a nutrition label on media that tells you exactly how it was made. You've got invisible watermarks like Google's SynthID to trace where an image came from. And we're even seeing new labels like proof of human or human authored to guarantee something is the real deal. And this brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, the endgame. Because as cool as all this is, the fight between Sora 2 and Veo 3 was never really about making funny videos for the internet. This is all just a very public chapter in a much bigger, much more secret race. The billions and billions of dollars pouring into this tech, it's not just for a new social media app or a tool for filmmakers. No, the real prize is something way, way bigger. What they're really racing to build is something called a world model. This is an AI that doesn't just copy what a video looks like, it actually starts to understand the rules of our world. Things like gravity, cause and effect, how objects interact. It's basically a physics engine that learns from data instead of code, allowing it to simulate and predict physical reality. So this is the main takeaway. Sora and Vaneo, they're just progress reports. They're public milestones in a much deeper, foundational struggle for the future of general intelligence. Because if you want to build an AI that can truly think, many believe it first has to be able to understand and simulate our physical world. And that leaves us with the final massive question. This isn't just a race for a new product. It is a race to build a working simulation of our own reality. The only question is, who's going to get there first? And what happens to all of us when they do? This special episode of the AI Daily Deep Dive podcast was researched by Gemini Deep Research and is fully AI generated.